Hello, my little crafty monsters. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody is fabulous. So, in today's fabulous tutorial, we are going to be making these adorable, I'm talking about adorable Christmas trees. You guys saw them in the previews, but let me show them to you guys up and close and personal, Bobo. These Christmas trees are so easy to make. They're a little time consuming, seriously, but they are super easy, and I'm pretty sure that you guys have the crafts, the supplies to make these little bad boys. And the reason why I did 3 different ones is because I know out of all these 3 different ones, I'm sure that you guys, little crafty monsters, have some of these so you could whip one of these bad boys together. So the first one we're going to be making is this ribbon one. How cute is this ribbon one, right? So it's just a ribbon. This is the card base, and we just attach the ribbon. Okay, contestant number 1. Ain't she a beauty? So this one was just made with construction paper, some glue, and some ribbon. That's all it took to make this little bad boy. So now if you guys have some ribbon at home and some construction paper, you definitely can make one of these. Definitely, definitely. Now the second contestants, they're twins. They're twins. And there they are. Look at this. It's Bling. Bling. The Bling. The Blang Blang. Okay. So we made this with that ribbon bling that you guys see at Michael's and sometimes at Hobby Lobbies. Of course they have it there, and at Joann's as well. And basically this is a bling one that we're making. And aren't those a beauty? Those are contestant number 2s. Now for the last final contestants. These ones I'm going to kind of back up a little bit because these ones leave a lot of dust everywhere. A lot of dust, let me tell you. So I'm just going to pick up one. Just one. There's 2 of them. And it's these little mini glittered trees. They're all just glittered. And I know that you guys can't really pick that up on this, but the whole tree is basically glittered, and there's 2 of them. So we're making 2 of these, of the glittered ones, and we're making 2 of the bling, okay, and 1 of the ribbon one. Okay, so that's what we're going to be making today in this video. So, without wasting any more time, you guys, let's get down to business because this video is going to be a little long. Why? Because I'm glad you asked me. Because we're going to be making all these trees. So, stay tuned. I'll see you in a bit. Hola, my little crafty monsters. So right here we're going to use a circle cutter, Mod Podge, glitter, some ribbon, some poster board. And this is what we're going to be using as the base for basically our Christmas trees. And with this circle cutter, I'm going to cut 12-inch circle. I'm going to do 2 of those. And this is going to be our medium size Christmas tree. We're going to do 3 different sizes and 3 different designs. So you guys definitely are going to have a variety to choose from when making any of these projects. You can make 1, or you can make 2, or all, whichever you like. So right here on this one, I'm going to actually use this ring for a reef wire, and this one is 18 inches, and we're going to go ahead and make this the biggest tree that we are going to be making in this project. And it's going to be, like I said, 18 inches. So since I don't have a cutter that's going to cut 18 inches, I'm using this. You guys could use anything you have offhand. The lid of a pot, you can use, there's just so many things that you guys could use depending on what size you guys want to make your trees. So This one, like I said, I don't have a cutter, so I just traced it and now I'm fussy cutting it. So on this one right here, I'm trying to see, you know, what other size I can make, and I believe I ended up making an 8-inch circles. So the small ones are going to be 8 inches. And we're going to cut out 2 of those. We're going to make 2 mediums and 2 smalls and 1 large. So we're making 5 Christmas trees in total. This video is sort of long, guys. I'm really sorry, but it's 3 different types of Christmas trees. So that's why it's sort of long. Yes. So now what we're going to do is we're going to plug in our hot glue gun, because we're going to need a hot glue gun. And then we're going to try to figure out the center of each one of these circles. And so for this, I use my Tim Holtz ruler, because it has a grid and it also is see-through, so I could basically see where exactly the middle is. It makes it a lot easier. And right here, since these are the same size, I just poked a hole so that I'll use that little piercing as a guide to where the middle is. On this one, this is an 18-inch, so we're just basically going to look for the center. And we're going to do that at 9. And so now that we have the center of each one of these circles, what we are going to do is we're going to basically make a line. This is going to be our guide where we're going to cut. So we're just going to cut from the edge all the way to the center of where that dot is at. And I'm making lines because I want to make sure that I cut a straight line. I don't want to be all crooked or all wonky or lopsided. And so this part is pretty easy. So right here, I'm just going to use the other smaller one just to cut exactly where I need to cut for the last one. And we are basically almost done. So we're just going to go ahead and make these into a cone. And the reason why I'm not cutting the excess paper is because the paper in the inside actually helps the Christmas tree be a little bit more sturdy. If it was just one sheet, I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but if it was just, if you cut it down and you just glued, you know, end to end, that would be pretty flimsy because there's no, there's nothing supporting it in the inside. And so when I rolled it and I had all this excess paper, that actually helped to make it pretty sturdy. Now on some of them, you're gonna notice that when I rolled it kind of wrong. So there is kind of like a little bit of a layering. But for the most part, you don't really have to worry about that because this is only the base part. And you're going to cover this with the stuff that we're going to add on to these trees. So with that being said, you really don't have to worry about the edges of the papers. Just make sure that they're the size you want. So right here, what I do is I just roll the middle part, I roll the inside, and that's what I use to basically help the outside also start to cone up. And if you do different sizes, like some skinnier than others, some chubbier, I mean, that just adds to the whole character of the actual tree. I mean, there is no tree that is identical to the other. I mean, they're all slightly different in their own way. So just remember that they don't have to be perfectly the same. And the reason why I use a hot glue gun is because that sets faster and I know that it's going to basically hold it. And I also use it on top of my rubber mat because then also too, I can make sure that the glue is flat. Now for the larger tree, we're going to actually do ribbon loops. And these loops are fairly easy. All I'm doing is just making a loop and I'm trying to see how big I want it. You guys can make them as big as you want, as small as you want. You guys can use thinner ribbon or thicker ribbon, whatever you guys want. Seriously, it's really your taste and what you would prefer. I'm just using this one here, and it does have a wire, so the wire does help for it to stay sturdy. But then once you've determined what size little loops you want, cut that one and then use that as your guide to cut all of the rest. And that's basically what I'm doing here. So I'm just gonna cut a bunch of strips just to have them ready, and then I'm gonna start gluing them. And what I'm doing is I'm just basically gonna glue the middle part of the ribbon, and then I'm gonna fold it. You'll see right now. I had to get some more glue sticks and then my tweezers. So right here I'm just doing it on the edge and then I'm holding it. Right here I'm doing corner to corner, but then later on I start learning because we're just doing this as I go. There is no instructions. I didn't watch a video on how to make this or anything. This is just on the top of my head how I know basically this is the way they're made, because I was looking at one and I think it was at the store, and I was really looking at how it was made, and it was just really simple. They just made loops of ribbons and then they started gluing them and then they started stacking them so it looks like a tree. And I was like, that's brilliant, because you could basically use any type of ribbon that you guys want. I mean, there are so many different ribbons out there, some beautiful ribbons. So there's a lot to choose from. You guys could, I mean, just let your creativity go. Could you imagine a row of different type of ribbon? So one row, one ribbon, another row, a different ribbon, and you know, like you can do so much with these trees here. And they're so easy and so inexpensive. Nobody's actually gonna know that you made it. They're probably gonna think that you purchased it because they look like something you purchased at a store. And right here, it's just repetitive. You're just gonna continue doing repeat and repeat. So just to explain to you exactly what I'm doing is I'm grabbing the ribbon. So I grab the ribbon and then I glue the end, fold it, and then I go to the other side, glue one end and fold it, and then I attach those two in the middle, and then I kind of bend it and start forming it into like a little petal, and then I glue it to the base of the Christmas tree with a little bit of the glue on the back. And that's really it, guys. That's how simple it is. Now, it is a little bit time consuming because you're basically making little ribbon loops and gluing them and stuff like that. Yes, it is time consuming. So you guys make sure that, you know, you either have enough time to do the project, or, you know, you do a little bit now and a little bit later. You don't have to do it all at one time. But just know that it is going to take some time. Also, this tree, I don't remember the size of the tree exactly, but it comes from an 18-inch circle. So it's the biggest tree that I'm actually making. You could definitely go bigger, but just know that if you go bigger, you're going to use a lot more ribbon. So I didn't want to have to use so much ribbon. So that is why I kind of kept them a little bit small. And if you notice that all of the 5 trees I make, they are not really that big. And the reason for that was because, you know, supplies. So I didn't want to have to do trees that I would have to use a lot of supplies to. And then right here, you're just going to fix them. But don't worry too much about it, because, you know, you could fix them up later. Now the second row, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set that one right in the center where the 2 of them are meeting. Kind of like if you ever made a rose or a flower, how you set the petals, you know, one in between the other 2. And this will just make it for like a more natural looking tree. And so I'm just making ribbons, and then you'll see how I put it kind of like in the middle. See where the 2 are meeting? I'm gonna place that in between. And then you just go. Now, if it doesn't continue doing it that way as you go further down the row, Don't worry about it because as you keep putting the layers and layers on top of each other, you're not even going to notice that at all. But I will tell you this, make sure that when you do put the little ribbon petal, that you're going, you know, enough closest to the bottom row so that you don't see too much of the cone. There is parts where you would probably be able to see the base, and I mean, you know, it's no biggie because we're basically using the same color as a ribbon. We're using a white cone, so I mean, it's no biggie, but I know that there are some perfectionists out there, and I know that it would probably bother them. So when you are putting these rows, make sure that you are going close to the bottom so that there is no opening being visible, is what I'm saying. And then like that, you know, you'll have a perfect tree. And so like I said, this step right here is just repetitive. You're just gonna keep repeat and repeat. I'm only gonna do this row and a little bit of the other one, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pause it and finish this off video so that we can go ahead and continue on the next Christmas tree we're gonna be making. And you guys are going to flip. Seriously, you guys are gonna flip because the next one is so freaking adorable. You guys are definitely gonna want to. Just so you guys know, I mean, like I said earlier in the video, it's for those of you who probably have that ribbon bling left over and you guys just don't know what to do with it, make a Christmas tree. This Christmas tree right here, guys, I absolutely love it. I fell in love with it. Look at it. It's already taking its shape and form. I mean, and then the good thing about it though too, is as you get higher and higher up on the tree, you're using less and less ribbon loops. So the one that you're gonna do the most are the first 2 layers, and then after that, it's a lot less, and then it goes a lot quicker as well. So right here I just cut the strips because I like to have them ready so that all I have to do is just grab them and make the little loops and then, you know, set them and put them on the tree. I mean, you can do this ahead of time too. You could sit there and make all kinds of little ribbon loops or ribbon loop petals, whatever you guys want to call them, and then attach them to the tree. But for this part, I mean, because I'm doing the video, that's where I'm kind of showing you guys like all of the steps. You know how there's a lot of that glitter ribbon? You could do some of these ribbons. So what I've done before in the past, when I've actually used deco mesh instead of actual ribbon like this, because the deco mesh is a little bit easier to shape into a little petal. You would just use little petals of deco mesh and then attach them to a base. And then afterwards, you would spray paint them to whatever color you wanted to spray paint them, and then use a glitter of the same color from your spray paint. And then you'll just need to use like a spray adhesive, and then you can spray that and throw on the glitter, and that would be another cute tree. That's kind of like the trees that I have on my mantle. If you guys have seen pictures on my Instagram. If you haven't, you guys should check that out. My Christmas mantle has these glittered gold and red Christmas trees, and that's the trees I'm talking about. They're made out of deco mesh, and then I spray painted them and then added glitter of the same color. And I don't know, I get a lot of compliments on those. So this is the last little petal for this row. And like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and finish this off camera. And oh wait, no, we could do one more row. Yeah, and then I think this is the last row that we're going to do, and then I'll just do the rest off camera. But for the most part, yeah, there's just so many ideas that you guys could do with, you know, with making your own Christmas trees on home. I mean, you can use like beads and bead, you know, a tree all the way around. I have these little kind of like pom-pom balls, and they have kind of like a little silver tinsel in each of them so that they shimmer a little. So I think I'm gonna make a tree with using those all around the tree. I mean, you know, you just gotta see what you have in your craft room, guys, and go at it. I bet you too that making little loopies like this and attaching them to a tree of like that little tinsel ribbon would be cute. So this is it. This is the finished product. This is what it looks like. I just added one of these little silver snowflakes on the top, and then I put ribbon around the top so you wouldn't see the edge, and this is it. Now for the next one, I spray painted all of these little bad boys silver so that you wouldn't be able to see. You're gonna need that bling ribbon, some Mod Podge, a brush, and the glitter. And let's get cracking, guys. So now for the first one, because the first one is kind of as tedious as the first ribbon that we were making, because we're gonna be making some little loops, but we won't have to make as many because we're also gonna do a row of just bling and then some little petals. You guys will see what I'm talking about. I'm using this paper because I don't want it to stain my work surface. So right here, I just measured it. There is no measurement. I'm just gonna measure around the tree. You guys will measure whatever, you know, whatever size tree you guys have. And then for the first bottom row, I'm just gonna go ahead and glue just a strip. So we're gonna just go ahead and glue the whole strip down. That's what I was telling you guys, you don't have to worry about the little paper showing. It was all gonna be covered. Now for the next one, we're gonna make little petals. And then on that, what I've figured out was I counted 11 little studs, and then I just went all the way down and cut that. And then I cut them by 2 rows each. So each petal was 2 rows of 11 little beads going up, if that makes any sense. If you guys have doubt with this, you guys probably know what I'm talking about. Now you're gonna do the little loops the same way that you did the ribbons. So I put glue on one of the little middle parts, and then I attach them, and then I just put it onto the Christmas tree. Now I met the bottom part of this loop to the very beginning part of where that the strip of the bling that we used in the bottom. So you wouldn't be able to see it too much, but you still are able to see it. And that's all we're gonna do. We're just gonna basically make little petals and attach them. Now right now it really doesn't look like very much, guys, but honestly these little trees came out adorable. Because these trees are a little bit smaller, you're not going to use as much as you would have used with the ribbon. And these are really easy too, guys. Just imagine, I mean, if you guys have different color of these little bling ribbons, you guys could use so many different colors, and then, I mean, you could even make designs. I mean, there's just so much that you could do. Now, if you also have like that bling that's, you know, the stickers, you could also just probably use some of those and decorate it really cute too, if that's all the bling that you have. It's basically use what you got. And like I said, this is all just repeat and repeat. I got a lot of glue stuck in my fingers to the point where it was not even letting me really work because everything was getting stuck on my fingers too. But, you know, when you work with hot glue, that's what happens. Now right here, I'm gonna do a row of 4, and then I'm gonna cut just the very first one. Oh, sorry, it's a row of 3. I start doing rows of 4 because I wanted it to use up more space. In the beginning, I was just doing 3s. And then I just, like I said, I just cut the very first one so that when you're gluing it and it's going around in that circular motion, it's gonna basically kind of give a little bit. So it'll lay a little bit easier. You guys will see once you start doing this. So that's what we're doing. We're doing a roll of bling of just the strip, and then we're gonna do a row of the petals, and then another row of this just the bling strip, and then another one of petals. And that's how you're gonna continue doing the whole entire tree. That's what I'm telling you, it's a lot better because you don't have to do so many petals. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, this tree did take 41 little petals. But imagine if you were doing the whole entire tree just little petals, it would have taken a lot more than that. The good thing is we were skipping by making that row of bling. Now to start making all the little petals. Right here, I'm just making some of the petals just so that they could be ready, and then afterwards I could basically just start gluing them on so it'll be a little bit faster. But it's kind of hard to do that because you don't really know exactly how many petals you're going to need. I mean, unless you've done this project before and you're doing the exact measurement, then you'll probably use exactly the same amount. But for the most part, it's kind of hard. I mean, you know the measurement of the circle that you started with, but you don't know the end result once you make the little cone. It might be a little fatter, it might be a little skinnier. I mean, it's all a surprise. I don't know if I told you guys this, but I love how these came out. I really, really do. If anybody knows me, y'all know I love the sparkles and I love the bling, so this was right up my alley. Now right here, we're just gonna add that strip bling for the next row. This project is a little easier to show you because as I'm putting the bling, I tilt over the little Christmas tree so you'll be able to see that angle too. When I was doing the snow globe snowman, that was kind of hard because I couldn't tilt the actual project down. If you guys haven't seen that video, definitely go to our YouTube channel and check out those snow globes. They are amazing. So now right here, we're gonna just make some more little loopies. And we're almost getting close to finishing, guys. Just to show you, this is super easy and it goes pretty fast, depending on the size of Christmas tree you're making. But for the most part, it goes pretty fast. Also too, if you guys want to do those ahead of time, definitely I would recommend you do them ahead of time too. Just sit there in front of the TV and put on the TV and get your glue gun and your little ribbon, cut them and just start making a bunch of little loops. So then you already have them already made and it just makes your project go a lot faster. Just saying. So if you guys make some of these little bling trees, I definitely want to see what you guys come up with. I mean, I know some of you are such creative little monsters. I want to definitely see what you guys come up with. Definitely you have to show me. So now that we're getting closer to the very top of this little Christmas tree, it's getting a lot less bling and a lot faster. And then now we're gonna make the little loopies. We're gonna have to cut some more. Did you guys see that? Did you love it? Did you love it? Because it's looking amazing. So because we're going to the very top, we're not going to use that many, so I'm only going to make a few of them. And you guys will see how fast it goes. So now I'm just going to glue these on here. I was so excited about this. I was like, I couldn't wait to finish it because as I had finished the first the first two rows, I started really liking how it was looking. And then at that point, I'm like, okay, I can't wait to see what it's going to look like completely finished. And so I really tried to hurry up and finish it. So then we're adding that little strip on the very top, and then we're gonna add just very few little petals because you don't really have that much room there. So we're only gonna add 3 of them. I'm gonna do one on each opposite side, and then I'm gonna bring one in, like kind of basically hugging both of those. So you're just doing 3 petals. And you are basically completely done with this. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put like a little strip on the very top just to hide that little peak or corner. And that's basically it. And then we're going to just add in our little silver snowflake and this tree is completely done. But look at that. So you guys could add whatever you guys want on the very top. It doesn't have to be a snowflake, obviously, but this is what I had offhand. And it was also silver and sparkly, so I'm like, it's all gonna go. And there you have it. Now for the next one. The next little tree, they're a lot smaller, so these are gonna go pretty fast. And this is super duper easy. All we're gonna do basically is paint Mod Podge on top of our little silver Christmas tree, and then we're gonna just throw glitter on it and let it dry. And then once we let it dry, we just add the little snowflake on it, and that's it. That's literally it. That's how easy these were. And you know, I got this idea because I was at the 99-cent store in the very beginning of no, it was towards the end of November when they started bringing out all the Christmas stuff. I had noticed they had these Christmas trees that were these. They were glitter. They were just trees that just had glitter, nothing else. And so I'm like, those are super easy to make. I mean, anybody could make these. Now, if you really want the glitter to set, you guys could definitely do just a coat of Mod Podge on top of the tree that's already dried and glittered. And that would just basically seal the glitter so it doesn't let go of so much silver. But just so that you guys know that when you do that, it kind of takes out a little bit of the sparkle from the glitter. So it won't look as sparkly. Where to if it's just naked glitter is what I call it. When it's no seal or nothing, I just call it naked glitter. So when you do it like that, I mean, basically it looks a lot more shinier and prettier, but you will have glitter dust everywhere. So those are them, the little glitter trees. And that's all 3 designs, guys. No? Okay. Well, welcome back, my little crafty monsters. That's how easy it was to make these little bad boys right here. I mean, like I said earlier, it's a little time consuming. Seriously, a little time consuming. Even Mr. Matthias got tired. He got tired of making these trees, so he knocked out. So our little co-host Matthias got tired of making Christmas trees, but nevertheless, these are super easy to make, you guys, and I'm pretty sure that you guys have some of the supplies at home to make these little bad boys. So when you guys do create these, I want to definitely see what you guys come up with. I want to see what you guys make. There are so many different ribbons and laces out there that you guys could use, and you guys just get creative. Think outside the box. Thinks outside the box. Okay. And like I said, guys, don't forget to share on our Facebook all of your amazing creations. And, of course, I hope you guys enjoyed this video just as much as I enjoyed making it for you guys. Don't forget to subscribe and also hit that like button and that notification button, because y'all know that you don't want to be missing out on all of these fabulous videos. And also share and tell a friend, because your friends also need to know how fabulous these videos are so that they too could be in the fabulous wagon. Oh, damn, watch out. He just came up with that by himself. Was it funny? No? Okay. Anyway, so you guys definitely share with your friends. And that's it for now, my little crafty monsters. Goodbye.